What's up, guys? So the long-awaited ProCharger install on the VMAX is finally beginning. So there is several different stages that we're going to have to do in order to get this thing fully completed. But step number one, starting from the rear of the truck and working our way forward, is going to be tackling the fuel system. So I went ahead and picked up a Deechwork, I think that's how you say it, 400 fuel pump. Now we got to get access to it, which there is a couple of different ways, one of which is cutting a hole in your bed, which we ain't doing that. And then 2 is leaning it up. And then 3 is hopefully what we're going to accomplish today, taking the wheels and tires off on jack stands, removing the bumper, and sliding the bed back far enough to get access to it. Now, that's probably going to be a pretty fun job by myself, but I think that's our best route to go. So I'm going to go ahead, snatch this bumper off, remove our bed bolts, and then I'll catch up with y'all for sliding this thing back. Bumper is off. Wheels and tires are off, sitting on jack stands. Now all 6 of our bed bolts are out. Our gas filler neck has been unscrewed and dropped down. I put the cap back on it. There is also one negative wire. Where was it? It was connected up there, one ground wire. And so I took that off as well. And now I think we're ready to start shuffling her back because we got to get access to all of this, which that right there is slightly concerning. I don't know why that is squished up in there. It's not bolted down. To be honest, I don't even know what that is. So what we're attempting to do is slide the bed back.
Why?
It's got to go over a pretty thick cable or wire loom on this side. So I've got it jacked up, and I need you to basically help pick it up. And be very careful to listen closely, because we need to be careful.
I don't like that.
My leg!
My leg!
Are you okay?
No. Put it on here.
Oh. I literally said, are you okay? And you said no. I'm just in the way.
Stepped in oil. I think that's gonna be good. All right, guys, well, I don't know how much I ended up showing y'all with that, but me and Lauren got it pushed back far enough to where I think I can access everything right there. So there is our fuel pump hat, our wires, our plugs, our fuel lines, everything. So hopefully I can smash my body in here and get that lid taken off and our new one put in. Little sketchy, not gonna lie. Hopefully we didn't booger up these wires back here. I don't think we did. Those guys, they were kind of getting hung up. Got to get old hammer in the way now. We did get over those wires, which they were clipped in on the frame. We got this little shielding on them. Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, time to start taking that away, apart, so we can throw this guy in there. And I've never done any type of fuel system, anything. So this is going to be a learning experience for y'all and me as well. Hopefully we can accomplish it. So I guess I'm going to wait till tomorrow we get a little better lighting in here. I need to cut me a freaking window in here, let some of that light through. I'll catch up with y'all tomorrow and we'll hopefully start getting this thing knocked out. All right, let's go ahead and get this factory fuel pump out. We're going to start by removing our evap hoses. So push this guy up from the bottom. And then just slide it free. This guy, we're gonna push towards us, pinch it flat, slide that guy off. And then for our fuel line, it should be a 3/8 line. Got this little tool, and we should be able to push it in there. And I have to rotate it. I smell gasoline. And there she is. So now before we do anything, we're gonna go ahead and let that dry for a while. And we'll go ahead and wrap this guy up. And I need to go get the air compressor to blow all this dust out. Probably should have done that before removing everything. So might not be a bad idea to do that. Either way, we'll get that knocked out, and then we're gonna have to knock this lock ring off. All right, let's see if we can slide up in here and knock this lock collar loose. We've got a copper punch, so we hopefully won't have any sparking issue. And now we need to hit this thing, which direction? That direction, to knock the little ears loose. Just like that. Our collar is free. And now we should be able to lift this guy out of place, I believe. Let me come over on that side so I can get it better. We should just be able to lift her out of there. Just trying to keep as much gasoline in the tank as possible. Where is our level at? All right, let's run this guy outside. So here's our factory unit next to the new DW400 drop-in. So thankfully this is a direct replacement. We don't have to swap any of the parts over. We don't have to modify our factory bucket or anything like that. Now there's definitely less expensive options if you want to go that route, but I figured since we are going boosted, we need to address the entire fuel system. So I think this is the best way for us to go. Now there's definitely more steps rather than just doing a pump replacement that can work with the factory stuff, but we're gonna get it all knocked out eventually and get that ProCharger on. Now, unfortunately, our truck was not a factory flex fuel, because if it was, we would actually have a better pump than this one, and it's capable of being used with higher horsepower rather than this one that's kind of limited to NA builds. So I'm sure there's plenty of people using the factory pump with, you know, boost, but I figured let's go ahead and just try to do it the right way the first time. So DW400 going in, we got to put the O-ring underneath just like it is on that one. Lock this baby into place and button up this part of the fuel system. Let's put our new O-ring into place. Just like that. And then let's carefully drop our new bucket in. And I need to look back at the footage and see exactly where this little arm went. I think it's right there, but it could be right there. Let me double check. All the measurements check out. So we did end up doing a very slight modification to the ear. So it should now go into the correct location. Or not the correct location, the location that we're gonna have to have it, which is right here. And she's in there. That will allow for everything to line up properly. Let's get this guy into place. And all right, lock ring is started, and we're gonna let the fumes and the gasoline dry for a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and knock that guy into place and start plugging things in. she is on there. Pop this guy free. Hopefully lock her in. Ooh, gotta remove the cap. Lock that guy into place. We'll go ahead and plug this guy back in so we don't lose any of our pots. Some of y'all super detailed watchers might have noticed that the lock ring was actually not fully into place. We had it up against this ridge right here, but you got to knock it under that one so that there's a ridge on both sides. So I took the punch, I started hitting it here on this inside piece, then the outside, inside. You basically just got to find where it's getting hung up at and then just absolutely beat the tar out of it. So she is fully locked in. Evap lines are on. You probably also already noticed that originally there was 2 plugs and 1 fuel line, and now there is 2 fuel lines and 1 plug. So these guys right here go to a module under the bed, and those are what was controlling the fuel pressure to the engine on this returnless style fuel system. So I think in 2004, they swapped over to the returnless. It's 05 actually. So we have 1 fuel line going out to the engine and no way for it to send fuel back to the tank. It was controlled by that module right there. And this is a drop-in, plug-and-play, kind of. So it's a drop-in, but the plug-and-play part can be a little bit deceiving. You do have to do additional modifications. So this guy right here is no more. We're going to have to do a hot wire kit to get power to the pump so it can send the maximum amount of fuel via the new return-style fuel lines, which we're going to do. We got 1 fuel line going out and 1 fuel line going in. So the one sends fuel up to the engine. There's going to be a fuel regulator, which then monitors or just allows the correct amount of fuel pressure to the engine. And the additional fuel is going to get sent back to the tank, just like the lift pump on the Duramax over there. So don't think you can just drop this in and go. Unfortunately, that is not the case. So I've got the hot wire kit and the return style lines and everything, that kit ordered. They should be here by the end of the week. So a little bit more to this. I figured we'd go ahead and make it a 2-part series of doing the fuel system on here instead of waiting another week to get this video out, because a lot of y'all have been commenting, asking for an update on the VMAX. So once we get those in and install them, I think I've got everything else. I've got injectors, I've got our new sensors, I've got the whole ProCharger kit. I need to get a winch for the trailer, because once we get done with all this, it's not going to be something you just crank up and take off on. So we're going to have to tow her to the tuner, to the dyno. We probably just jackknif the trailer. We need a winch anyways. Either way, that is her. So drop some comments down below. Give me some feedback. Pros, cons, anything. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just doing. So, you know, I feel like most of us are like that. You don't have a mechanic friend. You don't have a mechanic dad. You just kind of Google stuff and just go for it. So here we are. We're Googling stuff and we're going for it. And hopefully in the end, we're going to have an absolute beast right here. Just not freaking burn out. Yeah. Anyways, there it is. DW400 fuel pump installed. Part 1 of the fuel system. We got to do the return style with the regulator and the hot wire kit. Those 2 things are going to be in the next video on the VMAX. Also, I have an update on the Duramax here very soon as well, so be excited for that. So anyways, I'm going to quit rambling. Hopefully you did enjoy. Drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, ring that bell notification, and I will see y'all boys in the next video.